Hi guys, happy Thursday. I hope you all are doing well. I have missed chatting with you guys so much on here anyway. I've been trying to pop into Instagram when I can, and I've been on there quite a bit, and when I do go on there I tend to chat quite a bit, so you can obviously tell I missed like chatting on vlogs for sure. I tried vlogging yesterday, but it was all over the place because I was all over the place. I had so many things I had going on. So I thought, you know what, today's going to be a pretty low-key day. I got most of my cleaning and stuff done yesterday, and I just have to, I'm trying to split my grocery shopping up, so I don't have to do any this weekend because I want to do mostly meal prepping this weekend. So I'm going to do part of my grocery shopping today because I have to go to Costco, and I usually try to do Costco on a separate trip because it's not like real close to the other stores, and then Safeway has a few deals that I want to take advantage of. So I'm going to go to Safeway and Costco today, and then tomorrow I'll do my regular grocery shopping. I may have to go to Walmart this weekend because I think I have to get some prescriptions filled, and I may do that tomorrow, so we'll see. But anywho, so I just thought, you know, since I'm going to be in the car for a little bit, I would just chat with you guys. So how are you guys' holidays? Are you guys kind of glad to be back to a regular routine though? Because that's me. It's, you know, it's like I like the holidays. I've liked it that my husband's been home and we've been spending a lot of time together. But then I'm kind of looking forward to going back to work on Monday for two reasons. One, to be back to a regular routine, because you guys know how I like to have my routines. And secondly, because I'm like anxious, scared, and excited to start Whole30. So kind of like all three of those things. This morning it's 9:50. I got a much later start. My plan was to go to Safeway, get done with there, and then be at Costco by the time they opened at 10, but I'm like an hour behind. I woke up a little bit stuffy, and like I kind of have a little bit of a cold, and I know it's because I haven't been eating very well at all, and my immune system's probably down. I'm looking in my camera right now, looking at my face, and it's like every time I gain a little bit of weight, it's like it goes right to my face. It irritates the heck out of me so much. So it's almost like I almost hate like watching this. But yes, I've gained weight. I have no idea how much. I have decided to wait until Monday to weigh because part of Whole30 is you only weigh at the beginning and at the end. So I am going to follow that rule. Like I said before, many times before, I'm going to be still doing Weight Watchers, but I won't be doing my weekly weigh-ins, but everything else I will be tracking and all that stuff the same. I actually have finished with my Whole30 notes, my questions, because I have been getting so many questions through DMs and emails and comments, and so I've gathered all of them, and most of them really are like, there's really only just a few questions because most of them can pretty much be answered under like the same question. So I'm going to do a whole video on that. I'm going to probably film that this afternoon after I get home. I will get that filmed and it'll be up first thing tomorrow morning. Also, I'm going to do I've been doing a little bit of meal prep throughout the week, and I've been filming it all, and I'm going to explain in my meal prep video that, you know, most of these things I've been doing has been literally like, okay, I'm making dinner, I'm just going to whip up this mayonnaise that they say is going to take like less than 5 minutes, and it did. So I'm going to mention that because I think when people look at meal prep videos, and some people I think get very intimidated because, for one, they don't want to spend, you know, the entire like day meal prepping, and you guys know I don't spend an entire day meal prepping, but I think if with everything I want to do for Whole30 meal prepping, and mainly just because there's some things I only are going to have to do like every couple weeks, so like the mayonnaise, and like I'm going to be doing ketchup and salad dressings and some spice blends. Those things you don't have to do every week, but literally like I was just saying, while you're waiting for dinner to cook, you can whip up some mayonnaise. So meal prepping doesn't have to be only done during, you know, just during meal prep day. Like, and I'll explain that in the meal prep video because I'm going to split up into two different videos again, so they're not too long, but also so I have a chance to kind of explain that, you know, this is not doesn't have to be an entire day process unless you want it to be and you want to do it that way. But also splitting it up so that way people can find the videos. I'm going to do like the condiments and spices and things like that in one video, and then the rest of the meals and all that in the other video. So that'll be coming on Sunday and Monday, and then I will be filming all my grocery hauls as I buy the stuff. Like, I got a few things yesterday, but I didn't film it. I was going to wait till today, and then I'll film this part of it that I'm getting today and then my regular stuff tomorrow, and then that'll be up on Saturday as usual. So that's what I have going on. So when I get home, I don't have a lot to do, so I figured I'd vlog so I'd have time to edit this video and everything. Let's see what else has been going on. So I told you guys before too that our office at work moved, and it moved into the library, and I went down on Monday because they moved all of our stuff on Saturday. So Sunday was actually the first day we could have went in, but I just waited till Monday, and I went in there and had a big surprise. So for one thing, of course, you know, these are movers that came in, and so they just put everything in the areas there. We had our boxes labeled with what our area, like mine is a letter, so some people's are numbers, but what our section area is, and they put all the boxes in there. So everything was really, you know, pretty much all over the place in your area. But mine, I had a huge surprise because, so our department has a little mini fridge, which I don't use because I just bring ice packs. Since my area is more the kind of the area that has like the table where we will be meeting with new employees and has all the personnel files. So it's a little bit of a bigger area. We thought, well, for now, we'll just have them put it in there, and then we'll go from there. Well, since I never use it, I didn't know that it had a freezer in there, and I had no idea, like, when they cleaned it out, that they didn't defrost the freezer, and so it had my section on it. So of course it looks like it was my refrigerator and my mess. But anyway, when I got there on Monday, there was so much water all over the place, all over the carpet. It was so bad. So then I was moving it to try to get it to a plug-in. So I moved it to one spot, couldn't get to the plug-in because the filing cabinets were in front of it. So I had to move it on the other side. So then there was like water all over. So I had to call the superintendent's executive assistant, let her know. Well, luckily at our old site, where there's still half the employees are staying there, they were doing their carpets over there. So they just called them and had them come over and like suck it all up. I was gone by the time they did that, but it went in yesterday and it was all dry. So they got it all sucked up. But yeah, that was interesting. So I didn't get anything done really on Monday. I just kind of got that moved around, and then kind of got some boxes moved around. And then yesterday I went back, but we're not being paid for the time that we go in and set up, and so I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time. Plus, as I was setting things up, and I was kind of sitting at my desk and like, okay, do I want this here? And then there's like boxes and boxes. I was mainly trying to get the stuff like my Post-its and my pens and things I knew I would need to reach for first thing Monday to start working. And I figured the other stuff I can just do as, you know, through the week or whatever, like putting files away and that kind of thing. But as I was sitting there, I was like, do I want this here? Do I want this here? I'm like, you know what? I could do this all day. And until I'm actually sitting there working for a few days, I'm not going to know, is like, should the phone be here? Should it be over here? Does it need to be a little bit further over this way? I mean, I'm not going to know any of that until I start working and seeing what works, because it's a whole new desk, a whole new area, new surroundings, everything. So yeah, I won't know until all that. But also, I didn't have a power cord for my computer. Somehow when they hooked up my computer, my power cord was left off. So that Monday I couldn't even like power up my computer because it's a new computer. I was only working off of a laptop before that had, you know, a docking station with everything. And so they gave me a desktop and I had my laptop, but I was like, okay, I don't have a power cord. And so yesterday, luckily, one of the IT people just happened to be there doing some stuff, and so he found me a power cord. But by that time I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna even boot it up. We'll just see what happens on Monday. I have my laptop if I need to. But yeah, so that was an interesting situation. But anyway, it'll be, so I'm kind of excited about that too, being in a new area. I'm gonna kind of miss how we were set up before though, because we were, you know, all really close together, and we're like such a family in our department that it was easy. You could just stay in your desk and we could have conversations. We could work, you know, it was like, oh, I have to do this, and like we could bounce ideas off of each other. We can't do that now because we're so separated. So that's gonna be an adjustment too, and I'm just gonna miss, you know, having that kind of closeness with my coworkers. So that's gonna be kind of a bummer too, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it all goes. Every time I open up the trunk of my car to put groceries in there, I remember, oh, I need to clean out my car. I need to clean out my car. I really do. I have camp chairs that have been in there since 2 years ago. Yes, because we went to see my family when it was a 4th of July weekend, and they had like a big parade and fireworks and stuff, and so we bought camp chairs so we could sit and watch the parade and stuff. And so it would have been, yeah, it was 2 years ago that we went, so they're still in the trunk of my car. Plus I have like stuff that I had taken from my office, like not this Christmas, but last Christmas, that are still in the trunk of my car, you guys. It's just sad. So I would have so much more room. So I'm gonna do that today. I am going to do that today. When I unload everything out of the trunk, I'm gonna go back out and grab everything else. I also have cans in there that were from my work, from my office, that I saved. So I think I've told you guys this before. In Oregon, we have a bottle deposit. It used to be 5 cents. They raised it to 10 last year, I think. I think it was last year they raised it to 10 cents. I think it was the beginning of 2018, I mean, when they did it, or maybe 2017. It might have been 2017. Anyway, so so they raised it to 10 cents, and that's, you know, and I have to admit, I did not save the cans because it was honestly a pain in the butt to go put the cans in the you couldn't just take them to the grocery store anymore. They changed it to where you had to, and this was even like, I mean, years ago when I was a child, you took them to the grocery store, they counted them for you, you got your money, that was it. Then they changed it to where there's all these machines. Well, the machines always break. Now, when the kids were younger, we told them, if you guys want to be the ones to put them in there, great, you guys can split the money. So that's what we did. While I was grocery shopping, whatever, you know, we'd save up the cans. They were responsible for the cans, responsible for bagging them up, all of that, and they would get to split the money. Well, of course, as they got older, they're like, we don't want to say, because the things would jam up, they would break down, you're only legally in Oregon also only allowed to turn in so many cans per day, so then the machine would shut off once you hit that point. They usually would turn the machine back on for you. The store people didn't care. That's just, quote, state law. So, honestly, I was like, you know, I don't want to deal with this. And you guys, I've told you guys, my husband has like a huge soda addiction where he drinks a lot of soda, way more than he should. So we go through quite a bit. And my friend at work was like, why don't you use the new bottle drop thing? And I was like, because I don't know how it works. I don't want to deal with it. They built a big bottle distribution center. It's a new thing that they have in Oregon also. And I didn't know anything about it. I honestly just couldn't be bothered to figure it out and what it was all about. I knew there was machines inside that you could drop off. And again, I was like, I don't want to stand there and do that. And so, but we were paying on every 12 pack of soda, we were paying $1.20 extra on water. So when I go to Costco and I buy the big 40 packs of water, they're only what, $2.99? I think, yeah, because me and my husband, we got them the last time. They were $2.99. We spent $4 on the bottle deposit. And my husband is the one that drinks the bottled water. Our refrigerator filter thing, it's always like breaking, and he takes a lot of water to work. And so we, you know, I don't know, we should just get one of those ones that hooks to your sink, and they would save a lot of money too. But again, just one of those things that we should do, but we don't do. So anyway, we were just bad about recycling. So I was talking to my friend at work about 6 months ago or so, and she's like, it's super easy. You literally just get this little card. They give you bags. It's $2 for 10 bags, and they deduct it from your balance, and you can take in 2 bags a day, and that's all you do. And they just put the money on your little card. It's like a little, you know, swipe card. And she said, but the best part of it is that if you take it to a participating grocery store, which those are all the stores that gave up their machines. So any of the stores that gave up their, their like recycling machines, they all had the option to do this bottle drop thing. So they have a little kiosk in the store, and you just take your little card up there and you get 20% added on to whatever's on your deposit. So like mine right now, I think I have like 80 something dollars on there, $78. So but I could go in and I can get $108. So they add 20% off, but you can only do $99 a day. You can only draw out $99. So because my husband's been off work for so long, I've been saving it up to use for this week, knowing he's not gonna have a full paycheck again until January 25th. So I've been saving it up to do that. And so I'm gonna have $99 to go towards my groceries tomorrow, which is gonna be so nice because the store I shop at is just a local chain grocery store. See, Walmart doesn't do it, and so that's why I can't do my regular shop at Walmart. I have to get a few things at Walmart, but at least I can know I'm gonna save $99 at this other grocery store, which is gonna be so nice. And so it definitely is worth saving up those cans. But yeah, anyway, that was just a little rambly thing because it just reminded me because I have cans in the trunk of my car. So I'm at Costco. Safeway has a killer deal. I think their ads go from, I think they start on Wednesdays, if I remember right. So you guys have until next week. If you guys have a Safeway in your area, their chicken breast, the value pack chicken breasts are $1.47 a pound. And see, this is exactly why I cannot do the Whole30 doing grass-fed, organic chicken and stuff like that, or however it is. I don't know how I guess grass-fed's on the beef, but because I looked at Safeway is really the main place that sells that in our town. We have Safeway, we have Fred Meyer that sells some organic and grass-fed stuff, but not a lot. There's never a lot in stock. My Walmart doesn't sell it at all. My local grocery store, it sells a little bit, but it's really pricey too. And so I'm gonna look tomorrow when I go there. But I looked at Safeway, and for the small package of chicken breast, just a regular size package of chicken breast, it was $5 a pound. I can't do that because I'm feeding all of us. You know, these dinners feed all of us except for my husband who can't eat chicken, of course. But so I have two boys, you know, one's 21 and one's 19. And then there's me, and then, you know, and other, like the beef and stuff my husband will be eating, and I can't afford it. I really cannot afford to do that. And I'm hoping I won't get a lot of backlash when I'm doing the Whole30 and people are saying, well, you're not going to get the benefits, because I've read the books, and the books do say yes, they do suggest you do this, but they also understand that you can't always do it. It may not just do, as long as you're still watching the labels, which I looked at the labels, there's nothing funky added to the chicken. It's all natural and all that. It does say that around the package. I looked at the ingredients, so it's all good. But it's just so much cheaper. I mean, I cannot afford to do $5 a pound in chicken when I need it for like 3 of my meals, and for that many people, you know. So anyway, I'm gonna run into Costco so I can get the rest of my day done. It's like 10:30, so I'm making pretty good time. Okay, so it's 11:15 and I am leaving Costco. My goodness, you guys, talk about having to read labels to do this. Actually, to do probably any kind of, like if you were gluten-free or you had to, you know, just anything. I mean, it's so crazy with the labels, how many things contain sugar. So if you're trying to avoid sugar, whether you're doing any kind of, you know, lifestyle of eating, sugar is everywhere. It's so crazy. So I was just, I don't think I'm gonna really need any lunch meat, and I'm not like a huge fan of bacon. I like turkey bacon, but I really don't think I'm gonna find a turkey bacon out there without sugar in it. And regular bacon, I had no clue. And then like all the lunch meats have sugar in it. It is so crazy what they put sugar in. And then the nuts. So the only nuts I needed, because I already had some almonds. I already have sliced almonds that I can put on salads. I already had some walnuts. So all I needed was cashews, because I wanted to kind of make some like nut snack bags or something just to have in case I need a little bit extra. Plus there's like a breakfast kind of recipe that has nuts, which is going to be really high smart points, but I'm just really trying to figure out what I can eat that's going to keep me full. But anyway, so I looked at all the cashews they had at Costco. Every single one of them had peanut oil. Every single one. They didn't even have, normally they have like the organic, unsalted organic kind, but they didn't have them any. My Costco, I guess just being in a small town, I just assumed all Costco's were like the same size and all that until I was like watching a video and somebody was doing like a shop with me at Costco, and I was like, whoa, like, are you kidding me? That Costco is huge. How are they so lucky they have this huge Costco? I mean, and I thought mine was big, but no, not compared to that one. Oh my goodness, I was so shocked. I missed my turn. I am just gonna head home, and I think I'm gonna film while my makeup and my hair is still fresh, so I guess I'll go ahead and go home. I gotta make my bed. I did not do that when I first got up this morning. It's something I've been really trying to do, but with my husband being home the last 2 weeks, he like that first week that he was home, I had to work, and so he was still in bed when I left, so I couldn't really make the bed. So I kind of got out of habit that week, and then same thing with this last week that we both were off. He was still be in bed when I got up, and so then by the time I really thought about it, it was like midday, and so I really got out of the habit of making my bed. But I made it yesterday, but today I completely forgot, and so I'll have to make my bed so I can film. So I also want to thank everybody for all your comments on my goals and resolution video. I was really a little bit nervous to put that video up, and you know, it's so crazy that, you know, I had a lot of people comment, you know, it's your channel, put up what you want, but which that's the first thing that goes into your head. But as a person who creates content for people, it's like you want to still please people. You're doing it for yourself, but you're also doing it, you know, to help others and motivate others. But sometimes I feel like things that I'm just always anxious, because it's like the more subscribers you get, the more like bad comments you get on your videos sometimes. I mean, the more it brings out people who are, you know, more apt to possibly put negative. I wouldn't say bad comments, I'd just say maybe could be a little bit negative. And so I feel like that's why some people are really scared to talk about self-care, because, you know, it can almost seem like a selfish thing. But I feel like as a person who probably did not practice it at all when my children were young, actually I know I didn't, and especially when my youngest was, you know, growing up, because he, at the time that he was young, I worked a job where I was the boss and I was the one in charge, and the owner of the company did not live locally, and so I literally worked, I was on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because it was a hotel, and when you're a manager of a hotel, you're it. And so, and they never close, and I you know, I had to go to trainings, and so I had to go out of town, and it was like I spent a lot of time, you know, away from the family, and you know, so it's like I know that when I was home, I wanted to spend it, you know, with the family, with the kids, and that kind of thing, and I definitely did not think about myself. I feel like women especially probably do forget to take care of themselves. I think it's really easy to just be more concerned about, you know, making sure the household is all put together, making sure the kids have everything they need, you know, getting the kids everything they need for school. And it's like we just forget about ourselves because we think, you know, we have to put everybody else above ourselves. And which, you know, there is nothing wrong with being selfless like that, but it's, you know, sometimes you need to be a little selfish and not always selfless, if that makes any sense. But that's just something that I just think is really important, because I think we just sometimes don't realize just how much we could be hurting ourselves. And it's just been something I've really been thinking about, I think, because of just situations that have been going on with the family and stuff. And, you know, it's like, I think a lot of it came to light when I was talking to my husband one day. You know, we were sometime last week, and we were kind of talking about, you know, some of, you know, the things that are going on with him and his health and his mental health. And he was asking me, he was like, he goes, I understand why when he's having like some kind of episode, you know, depressive episode, if he's getting depressed or he's, you know, just anxious about something, or, you know, he asked me like, why does it affect you so much? And I said, well, because it affects me, because it affects you, and we're married, and I also told him, and then something came out of that, and he understood that part. And there's nothing wrong with that part of it, but it's when I said, I can't do anything about it. I have lost control of the situation because I can't fix it, and I can't make it better. There's nothing I can do to fix it. There's nothing I can do to make it better. There's nothing. I've lost control of the situation. And I think that's where us as women and mothers can easily lose sight of who we are, because I mean, automatically that stuck in my head. I'm like, that's right there is why it's affecting me, and why it's affecting my mental health and my emotional health, and why I'm stuffing my face with food, because I automatically went to that place where it's like, I have to control the situation. I have to fix it because that's my job. My job is to fix things. You know, it's like, that's where I placed myself in the household. And my husband, all the time, even when it comes to doing things like around the house, all the time he's constantly saying, you need help. And I'm always just thinking, if you guys want to help, just help. But then they're like, but we need to know what you need help with, because, you know, they know there's certain things that I like to do and like things that like to be done, and that's where I need to like let go of a lot of things. Now I know all that's not like self-care, but I think letting go is part of self-care. Letting go and letting other people help, letting other people do things, and I just really need to let my mind go. And even like at night, you know, like I was saying in the video too, it's like I would work all night, you know, like, okay, it's like planning out videos, editing videos, working on thumbnails, working on different, you know, just different things that has to do with my YouTube channel. And then I would spend so much time on that, I'd realize it's like 9 o'clock, you know, it's just like, now I need to unwind and go to bed, but I'm so wound up. And so it's like, I need to quit using like every waking moment to work in some capacity, you know, even though I don't bring my, so that's the thing too. That's what's funny, is that when I did work at the hotel, as the manager, it's like my work was always at home. You know, it wasn't one of those things where you could leave your work at home. I couldn't, because if there was a problem situation, somebody didn't show up to work, that was my problem. So it was constantly on edge. I could not leave the house without my phone. I could not do anything without it, because it's like, you know, even at night, I mean, like I said, it's open 24/7. So it's like, it was not, there are many times 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I get a phone call about something going on. And so I could never leave my work at work and not bring it home. And now when I'm doing like my work I do now, it's easy to leave at home, because it's, you know, it's not a job that I would bring home anyway. And but now that I have kind of a second job with YouTube, it's like, it is at home. It's something I do at home, but I have to prioritize things still, though. I have to make a schedule of it. So now I totally see why people do that. I really do. I have to kind of make a schedule. And that's something else I want to do in the next couple of days too, is kind of look at that too. I already have kind of a sketch of what videos I want to post through the month. So that really does help with my schedule. But here and there, you know, I have people, you know, wanting to do different collabs and stuff. And so I have to fit those in. And I do want to interact with people on social media, so it's kind of like I try to do that like first thing in the morning, or sometime, you know, like at lunchtime when I'm at work, that kind of thing. But yeah. Oh, I finished that book, that Love You Gone, I think that's what it was called. I was talking about it on Instagram. I wasn't talking about it on here, so you guys don't know what I'm talking about. I will put a picture of it up here. And I bought her second book. Actually, I think this was her second book. It's the other book that I bought was actually her debut novel. Her name's like Rona something. I don't remember her name, but they're really cheap on Apple Books and on Amazon. I think they're just independent authors, which I find a lot of success reading indie authors, especially in the psychological thriller arena. But I did spend some money. I had a gift card to for Apple Books, and so I was able to buy, I did buy 2 books that were kind of spendy, but they sounded so good. So I used to read a lot of young adult fantasy, and even though I was way into my adulthood when I read those, but I still really enjoy them. And I especially I used to also read a lot of Stephen King, and some of his favorite books that I liked were some of the kind of like disaster ones where like everybody was like gone, you know, something like killed everybody type of thing, you know, just what would happen if people were gone. I love those kind of books, kind of like a post-apocalyptic, oh my gosh, I cannot say that word, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Like if the whole world was like gone and there's just a few people left, what would the world be like? How would it be rebuilding? Those kind of things. I also like not remember the ones, kind of like the Hunger Games ones, that kind of world. Anyway, so I started reading a book by Nora Roberts. So I finished that one yesterday, and I was going to go ahead and start the second one from that same author, but then I saw the Nora Roberts one, and it's called, I think it's called Chronicles of One, and it is just like that. It is about an infection that takes over the world and kills a ton of people, but some people are immune to it, and so it's kind of the stories of those people that are immune to it and how they're but there's it's like a 3-book series, so the first 2 books are already out, and oh my goodness, that really captured my interest. Now it was like $13.99, which I hate spending that much on books, especially on ebooks, but maybe you can find it at your library. Our library just reopened, like I was saying, our office moved into it, but I live outside of city limits, so I have to pay for a library card. So I'm still deciding if I'm going to do that. I'm going to see if I can look at their selection first, especially their ebook selection. If it's good, then I'll pay the $60 a year to be a library member, but if not, then I'm not going to do it. But anyway, so it looks really good, so I'll try to put the picture of that here, and I'll list all the books down below, the 2 Nora Roberts ones of the series, and then the other 2, so there'll be 4 of them listed down there. But if follow me on Goodreads, I always have my Goodreads link down below, but I'll move the link up to the top, because one of my goals this year, like as part of the self-care, is going to be reading, and I did set a goal of 50 books this year, which I should have no problem doing. And I've already finished one, and I finished that yesterday, so we're only 3 days in. I've already finished one book, started another one, and this one seems pretty long, I think, though, so it might take a little bit longer to read this one, but man, it's good. And actually, it might be a good one on audiobook, but I've never ever listened to an audiobook, but since I've been getting into podcasts, I'm thinking I may be able to get into audiobooks, but they're kind of spendy too, so we'll just go from there. So that is pretty much what I've been up to. Let me know what you guys have been up to. Let me know what books you are reading so I can start building up my list. I always have a huge list, but I'm always in the lookout for ones, especially ones that are like $5 and under on either Apple Books or Amazon. I always get notifications when Amazon books go on sale. So let me know what you guys are into, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Next week, I will be going back to my, what I eat videos, but they will be more chatty in them like they were before, because that's what you guys want. So that's what I'll be doing. But it'll be all Whole30 related plus Weight Watchers. So stay tuned also tomorrow for my Whole30 video. So I'm going to go in and film that right now, and I'll talk all about Whole30, why I'm doing it, what it is, and that way if you guys want to do something like that. And then Saturday grocery haul, Sunday and Monday will be meal prep, and my first what I ate video on Whole30 will be up on Wednesday. So I think Monday and Tuesday I'm going to film it, and it'll go up on Wednesday, I believe. I think that's what I'm doing. I'm not sure. We'll see. I have to look at my schedule. But anyway, stay tuned. Lots of videos coming up, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.